Welcome to another episode of Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news and insights from Littlefield Agency.
Did you see the closing of my presentation last week? It's a GIF, and you and I are
No, I didn't.
dancing.
I would like to see that deck.
Anyway, it is good to be back in the studio, and I apologize because you guys are stuck with me this week. I know that you enjoyed Claud. Welcome back to another edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. I'm Sam Littlefield. With me is
Roop.
And last week you had Claud. Claud, nice work. Very, very nice.
She says thumbs up.
Did you enjoy it?
I was super nervous.
Okay, she was nervous. I don't think you came across nervous.
Well, she also thought she was going to do it the next day, and then the snow and ice was coming. We moved it up, and she had no prep.
So, Claude's a team player, and she is versatile. Speaking of her versatility, this is a big freaking day at our agency and for Little Talks.
Giving herself applause.
Dude, I love it. She's giving herself applause. Tell the people.
We're down one producer. Normally we have Brandon.
Yep.
And then Claude is acting as an associate producer role.
Yeah, not today.
Today, no Brandon. Claude set up the studio, turned on the cameras, did the makeup, turned on the lights. Is literally doing everything but being on the mics.
And if you're seeing this episode, she did her one job, which is push record.
Yeah.
Well, there's like 4,000 other things to do, but that's the most important.
There's a lot ahead of that, yeah.
So, Claude, you made it happen. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is great. Where's Brandon?
He's doing real work.
Whoa. Those are fighting words, baby.
That was rude.
He's doing paying work.
Wow.
Wow, man. Jeez. Cut me to my core. Well, speaking of real work, last week I was not here in Tulsa. I could not have timed that trip any better.
You could not.
I flew out Monday to Miami. As some of you know, I'm the chairman of Magnet, the Marketing and Advertising Global Network. We've been a member for a long time. I'm chairman this year and for the next, for the next 2 years. But we have 2 in-person summits each year. And so the first in-person summit was Miami. I flew out on Monday. Beautiful, nice day on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you guys were snowed in. Mm-hmm. And then I flew back Friday evening, and Saturday was like 42, and then Sunday was 60, and yesterday was 70. I brought the weather with me.
You sure did.
Yeah.
By the way, Sam, this was the first of 2. Where's your second one at?
Paris.
Paris. Where was it last year?
Last year was Nashville, and then I didn't go to the second meeting. That was in Prague, which I'm very bummed because I've heard
Is it
Prague's
always
incredible.
a North America Europe situation?
You're a smart guy. You're a quick study.
Yeah, I'm
That's
figuring
exactly
it out.
right. So, and then I can't announce it yet, but we figured out our 2026 locations. The U.S. location's cool. The international location, freaking cool, dude. And then that'll be my last meeting as chairman. It goes by very fast. But anyway, I share this with you because I brought back great weather. You're welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
And
Also
then here's what I love about this. I'm chairman, but we've been a part of this network for a long time. It's an amazing way to get out of the weeds and go to 30,000 feet and to think differently about the business. You know, how do we create better opportunities for our employees? How do we become better partners for our clients? How do we run a better business ultimately is the whole goal of this network. And I had the opportunity to present on Real Work, what we do here in the studio. And I gave about an hour presentation, maybe a little bit less, on the content that we produce as an agency, from podcast to LinkedIn to blog posts to all the social. Everyone loved our TikToks, Claude. Everyone wants Claude, by the way. If you're getting job offers, please stop reaching out to her, people. She is amazing. She's the jack of all trades. But it's really cool because the whole point of this is that, y'all, you have to start treating your agency like a brand and like a client.
Yeah.
And what have we done? Roop's review, he's a teenager in Littlefield years. His review's coming up in a couple of weeks. But what was your focus area for last year?
One of them was to treat the agency like a client.
You did a damn
content.
good job.
Yeah.
You did a damn good job. People were blown away. And it's so funny. They're like, oh, my God. I actually took them through, and I'll show you guys the deck. I took them through our journey back in the basement days.
Oh, yeah.
You remember those days?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. To where we are now, and I was like, guys, you got to start somewhere. You just got to start. I had a Zoom with an awesome person today that's trying to take this to their agency in Pittsburgh, and she's like, "Okay." And I was like, "Hey, you're going to go to your video team, and you're going to have a Brandon on the team. They're going to want this to be perfect." I was like, "If you do that, you won't get this going until the school year starts back up in August." So I said, if you really want to get going, just get some iPhones and start shooting, and it just gets better and better. So anyway, but I gave you 2 major kudos, and I appreciate everything you do. So
thank you.
I am back. I'm rejuvenated. I've got some fun ideas and kind of shared some of them with you and the exec team this morning. But we got some good things, man.
Yeah, you always come back from Magnet pretty energized.
Imagine my poor wife, right? So much energy in the household right now.
Except for the Europe trip, you come back jet lagged.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's true.
It's worth it though, I think.
But then I catch my stride and my energy. Yeah, Tara's like, dude, just calm down a little bit.
Jet lag doesn't
you're
last long for you. Yeah.
Someone sent me an email. They called it contagious energy. I was like, oh
yeah, that's
I'll
about
share
right.
that with my wife.
The contagious energy or the email?
The contagious energy from snippet from the email. So we're back. I really like this. What our topic is today, our one and only topic, Claud. Roop is going to lead most of this. Leveraging inbound marketing for B2B success.
Yep.
And Roop, as we were prepping for this afternoon, we've talked about this before. It's a great reminder. And just in the sense of how many B2B marketers that we talk to, you all, for the most part, have a CRM, HubSpot, Salesforce, Marketo, et cetera. But what are you doing on the ins and outs from an inbound marketing standpoint? And Roop's going to take it away, my friend.
It's pretty good seg after your magnet
You say
discussion.
seg?
Seg. That's short for segue.
Whoa.
Claudia, do the kids say seg?
Never.
Hey,
That was
You're talking about
that was jarring.
what in the world is going on?
Okay, so segue from the magnet content discussion. We want to talk about leveraging inbound content for B2B businesses. How you can have success there.
Love it.
And the first thing we want to talk about is a lot of times folks will want to jump right into. We got articles and we're going to create video. We got social posts and all this. But the first thing is really not any of that when we're running a content plan for inbound. We want to know about the customers and the people we're creating the content for.
Aha.
Yes. So research.
You're onto something.
A little research goes into this first. It usually forms itself in the way of personas, and personas, of course, being kind of stereotypical characterizations of your audiences.
Yeah.
And when you understand your audiences, you know what kind of content they're going to want from you. You want to know their hopes, their dreams, their fears, and it's about them. It's not about you. So you really think about them first, you second. That's the whole point of inbound.
So Roop, that process right there, kind of getting in, creating the personas, you obviously have to know information about said target audience. Sounds time consuming.
Yeah, it is. We may do a whole podcast on persona work.
I think we totally should.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. And sometimes you come along, you've already have some persona work someone else has done. That's great.
Or you might have some qualitative research. And here's the thing. We use a lot of that. We have created personas. I'm not a big fan of, his name's Donald Do-It-All.
Can I tell people who Donald is?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So
He's our LA persona.
Donald Do-It-All was one of our very first forays into the AI world a couple of years ago. And we created on our Slack channel, a channel for a guy named Donald Do-It-All. And Donald Do-It-All was one of our personas as an agency that we could ask questions of.
One-man band marketing manager, and he's got a lot going on in his life.
So we'd ask him, what do you think about this? Would this be a topic you'd be interested in on a podcast? What would you care about if we write an article on this topic? And then he just went AWOL.
Dude,
Which
Donald wouldn't wake up.
Which I think you've had some calls you've tried to make on some clients before, potential clients where that's the case. So maybe he really was playing the persona.
Maybe he's really tested.
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny.
But he completely
tested my patience.
He would go away and we'd start yelling at him on the channel, hey, are you there? And a few hours later he'd wake up and say, yeah, what do you want, kind of thing. So we had our own persona we could talk to.
He actually might be onto something. That's kind of interesting.
I may have made him too accurate. But he represented our potential customers or people we interact with or want to talk to. And he gave us a little bit of insight here.
And just, and as you look at this research that you might not have time to develop personas. You might have previous persona work. Create an AI persona and tap into them, and we use it as a sounding board. It's just kind of to test ideas and run some thoughts past, and then you get their take on it. Take it with a grain of salt, of course.
Yeah, but it will guide what your next step is, which everybody wants to jump straight to. I need a content calendar, and I want to do articles, I want to do blogs, all this. Yeah, and when you create that content, you want to leverage it back against, is this something, which persona would this be speaking to, which person is this of interest to? And so, then you start creating the stuff that everybody thinks about, and they think about content being blogs, videos, podcasts, things like that. Not ads. Ads are not content.
And that's an important point.
Yeah, you can run ads to promote your content
versus absolutely, and as we do for our clients and for ourselves. What would you say the number one rule is people content plan and content strategize for these B2B marketers?
I won't say it the way I wrote it on the script, unless you're going to bleep me.
Double dog dare you.
Are you doing it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to bleep?
Hold on.
So you want to write content that attracts and nurtures leads based on the persona work you've done.
Right.
You want to answer their questions, hopes, fears, and dreams, and not try to sell your own shit.
Oh, you almost
I
got it,
missed
dude.
it.
You have to give her a look or something.
They'll fix it in post. But yeah,
Nice job, Glenn.
it's inbound as a strategy is not about selling yourself. It's about aligning yourself with your audience.
And the tricky part in B2B, right? you all have equipment to move and stuff to sell, and well, shoot, we need to go like talk bottom of the funnel language.
Yeah, there's a sale. This is a new feature.
This is a meta post, right? Like there, as you're scrolling through, you don't want to be sold, you want to be entertained, right? We talk about this all the time with our clients. We have to remind ourselves, actually during our presentation, what was our most listened to podcast last year? Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
Entertaining, engaging, right? And so leveraging that funnel, it is very, very important to understand messaging strategies as people work their way up and down and back up and back down that funnel.
The funnel. And, a strategy of inbound content allows you to constantly be creating things to keep you in front of that audience. So you're always top of mind, and when they are ready to buy, they'll think of you.
There was one thing that, it was a year ago. You as marketing director, you and your marketing team, bring in pizza, do a 2-hour session, and work with your sales team, and literally have that sales team present. And you ask, they will give you every question that they have ever been asked on the sales side. And guess what? That right there is a lot of content.
They'll tell you what people have fears about in their job, what their anxieties are about in their job, what keeps them up at night, what gives them dread on Sunday before they go in, all that stuff.
And then you create content that answers these questions.
Those questions.
It's actually a great exercise. I'd highly recommend it.
And when you get done with your sales team, go grab your support staff.
Wonderful. Oh, my goodness.
Those folks usually have a ton of content ideas.
Yeah, I love that.
We're not going to get into the ins and outs of a content calendar and all that, but just know that that's a part of that is a part of the inbound process. And I can't hammer this hard enough. Inbound content, being different than regular content, is specifically to draw people in. Yep. You have to have a real method and purpose to it, and that's what we're outlining today is kind of method and purpose.
Yeah,
okay.
No, for sure.
All right.
Yes, we are tracking, and part of that, right? Lead nurturing, emphasis on the nurturing.
Yeah, moving people along, building that trust and credibility. They've maybe never had a phone call with you. They're just interacting with you solely in a digital manner. And there's a way to build that trust and rapport. Mm-hmm. And then we call it softening the marketing beaches so sales can infiltrate and close the deal. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
But yeah, nurturing is a key word there. Okay, Roop, email, marketing, automation, social media, all the stuff, analytics.
All the above. All that kind of goes into the post-content creation part of this. So you've created the content. Now you need to distribute the content. Hopefully you have a lot of own channels. Obviously, your website's a great place to post content. Your social channels are a good place to post content. You got a good email list that you can segment out based on your personas you've created. Send the content as it relates to each persona out to those folks.
Always be testing, right?
Yep.
You can learn so much. And again, like we understand you have a CRM, but the nuances and the just sophistication of these systems is mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. But be paying attention to the analytics of it from an email standpoint, from your organic content to your paid content. You're going to notice some trends very quickly.
Yeah, and your KPIs are going to vary depending on the content and the channel you're publishing it to and what your intended goals were, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And big numbers aren't always winning numbers, which is kind of key to remember in the content game.
And of course, we want to drive people to, whether it's find a dealer or, connect with the sales rep, awesome. But if you look at it, especially in a thought leadership world, if we're driving people to a landing page with a podcast, I'm going to use Ditch Witch, for example, and they're spending 17 minutes on said landing page, boom, that's a content victory right there, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not ready to convert and contact a dealer, but we've got someone that's very interested, which shows us that intent within the CRM system.
Yeah, the average episode of our Ditch Witch podcast, Beyond the Moon, I think I just saw the stat. The average episode people spent about 6 hours with, 7 hours, something like that. It was a long amount of time.
6 hours per episode?
Yeah,
So they're on the landing page.
Yeah, and they've watched a little bit and left.
They left.
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. So they're staying there though.
Yeah, they're coming back and listening to others, and so that adds up. That's time with somebody that's very different than when they scroll through and see an image on a social post. Well, that's a second or two.
To your point, that's interesting because that could be multiple brand awareness touch points. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a meeting. Oh, I got to go pick up my kids.
And come back.
Boom.
Oh, this was good. Let me listen to another one. Yeah, and something else we noticed. Talking about the KPIs. Like you said, we're not trying to. The goal of the podcast is to soften the beaches. Yep. It's not really to convert. We, however, have gotten, much to our surprise, a lot of conversions out of the podcast and the podcast page for Ditch Witch. So
find a dealer conversions.
Yes,
amazing.
So nice little bonus there.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, and a great thing for Sean and his team. So again, right? There's we work with a team out of Cincinnati, super impressive, and they have a whole team that's like in charge of CRM and content, et cetera. And They do a ton. It's amazing. And they lean into us for a lot of stuff too. So again, it's what your team can handle. It's what an agency partner can handle. And it's what we're here for. You guys have done a really nice job in the CRM world. And there's more work to be done. It's always, it's a living, breathing, beautiful, modern day Rolodex.
Yep. And new opportunities present themselves frequently.
Sweet. I love it. Roopster, it's good to see you, man. It's nice that it's not freezing, and it's good to be back in the agency. Claude, nice work.
Thank you.
If you're seeing this recorded, Claude, this is a Claude special.
Claude's debut as executive
proud
producer.
moment for us. Okay, we will talk, and we will see you all soon. We appreciate it as always, and until next time.
Adios.
And that's a wrap. We hope you've enjoyed our little chat and found ways to grow your own marketing strategies. Remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us on social media @Littlefield Agency.